I'm just trying to pay my bills. Out here on a late night deals. Used to have stage fright, real. Now I'm rocking stages like I'm aiming for a house in the hills. Proud of my wheels, have y'all stuck in your feels. Drinking all night for the thrill. Just right, just chill. Whole lot of cash in my wheel. Whoa! Don't tell nobody, don't tell nobody. Don't yell, nobody gonna tell nobody. It's a one-man show, all life, no party. On the road on my own, but I need somebody, I need somebody. Hey. I'm not ashamed to feel the way I feel. I'll make a meal, I'll take a knee and kneel. Thankfully I'm free enough to build. But what I need from what I see. Hey, I don't need, but I want to have it all. I don't need, but I want to travel the world and call the world my home and be the king of my world. Sing the song to my world, ay, right the wrongs in this world. Ay, I'm just trying to pay my bills. Out here on a late night deals. Used to have stage fright, real. Now I'm rocking stages like I'm aiming for a house in the hills. Proud of my wheels, have y'all stuck in your feels. Drinking all night for the thrill, just right.
What's good, kings and queens? Thank you for clicking the link and joining us on another episode of the OD, brought to you by the Social Maximus. My name is Shannyn Casino.
And it's Tasha B, y'all.
It's Tasha B, Tasha B. Thank you guys once again for joining us. We have a topic today that we just want to jump right into today. And the topic, wellness check. Just want to check on you. How are you dealing with your mental health in this time of pandemic, in this time that the country is going through what it's going through, hopefully maybe change of presidents, work, jobs, family, everything. How are you doing? How are you holding up? Are you okay?
Are you okay? We
Myself,
just want to know.
Yeah, absolutely. We really just want to know. I want to know what's going on with you. You are our co-host with this OD, and we want to check on our people. And we're hoping that you want to check on us too. This is a family thing. So, I'm going to ask, when this pandemic started, like, you know, the first, I know a lot of people felt like, you know, oh, this will be over in about a month.
Right.
It'll be over in about, you know, like that. But how did you handle the quarantine? Where was your mental health at, or mental level, strength levels at that time? Where were you? How did you handle it? Or did you handle it at that time?
In the beginning, in the beginning it was cool. You know, I was like, I get to work from home. This is great.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, I think I mentioned before that I'm a person that I like my space.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was like, I don't have to get up and go drive to work and, you know, be in the office with people.
Right.
So I was cool at first. Like, I get to work from home. You know, this is going to be cool.
Yep.
But like you said, it turned out to be months in when 1 month turned into 2 months and 2 months turned into 3 months. Yeah. And in the beginning, it was really like quarantine lockdown. They're like, don't go out your house unless you have to, like for groceries and things like that. Right. Everything was shut down, like, you know, restaurants and bars and you know, regular hangout places that you may go to, that was all shut down. So in the beginning it was cool, but when it started to get in months in, it did start to have an effect on me. And I was just like,
So what did you feel? Like what happened? Like what came over you? Like what was the emotion of that once it came over you? What was that emotion?
The emotion was I guess a bit loneliness. Things I didn't expect, you know, things I didn't really, I don't want to say I went to a depression or anything like that, but I definitely had moments where I felt myself almost like battling with myself, like restlessness, loneliness, boredom. Felt like I'm going stir crazy. Right.
Being in those walls.
Being confined.
Confined. Yep.
And you know, definitely, you know, went through a thought process and you know, just, you know, things I never really experienced before. And I'm like, what is this? Like
what I've seen, like what I've learned, it's like, you know, you can be by yourself for a period of time. But after a while, thoughts start coming.
Right.
Good thoughts, so high thoughts, which are great, and then low thoughts. And the worst thing that happens is the low thoughts. The low thoughts come. So when those low thoughts come, man, that's where depression, anxiety, and all of that stuff, how it takes effect and how it takes control. Because once you start thinking of those low things, your spirit if the mind thinks it, that's what you become. So then you start falling into that black hole, that spiral of low thoughts and negativity, and then it puts you in a place where it's sometimes, for some people, unfortunately, they can't come back from. Right. You know? And you can be the happiest of people. Absolutely. And it can happen experience that. It can happen to anybody. And it just made me think, like, wow, like, imagine how, like, I feel confined in just my house. Yes. And, you know, I'm a person that typically likes my own space, you know, but imagine how people locked down in jail may feel. And this house is nothing compared to a jail cell. Like, you know, imagine the mental battles that people that are, you know, locked and confined in spaces like that may feel. Or people who are not as mentally strong, like what they're dealing with. And, you know, of course, you see on the news and stuff during the pandemic, there's been an increase in mental health struggles. So people, depression, so that leading to suicide. You know, people are hurting themselves. You know, people are finding out things about their spouses in the pandemic as well. And the quarantining, they're finding out things about them. It's like, man, like, who did I marry? Like, you know, because some people feel freedom being at work. They feel that, you know, they if you will, for some people work is stress, and then for some people work is they decompress at work, you know, getting away from, you know, the wife, the kids, you know, life, bills, and, you know, that's where they're at their best, when they're at work. You know, and then so now work is not an option to go to the actual building. But now you have to go stay home, and now you're staying home with your family, you're staying home with your wife, and that becomes that builds up the domestic violence. You know, it builds up domestic violence, and it also builds up a lot more substance abuse as well. People experiencing mental breaks, mental breakdowns. You see, not a lot on the news, but you do every once in a while. You hear these stories where a family member just kill the whole family, and then themselves take themselves out because they just can't handle it. They've experienced some sort of break and never dealt with it. You know, but thank God, you know, I'm a person who's spiritually strong. I have a spiritual foundation, a strong family and friends, supportive system. So it wasn't something that I, you know, stayed in or dwelled in. You know, this state, I was able to, you know, always can, you know, read the word, you know, pray. Absolutely. You better. Call your family, call your friends. Things like that. You know, we mentioned it before in the episode on friendship. Like, call your friends. Call your people. Call your people. And, you know, sometimes I forget that. Like, I was reminded recently of that, you know, when my friends reached out to me, like, I ain't heard from you. Where you been? And I hope you answered that call. I absolutely did. Absolutely did. And I'm a type of person where I will kind of self-isolate. Like, if I feel like I'm kind of dealing with something, I will kind of self-isolate. So, you know, I just got to make sure I, you know, just pick up the phone and call somebody. You know? I think one of the most, one thing that I've seen in this pandemic time, on my job, my day job that I have, I work for a trucking company, and so the business was shutting down due to COVID-19, you know, coronavirus. So I went to so in the month of August, I think I shut down 9 businesses. Wow. 9 businesses I shut down. And I moved. I didn't shut down myself, but moved these companies into storages or wherever we had to take their stuff to. It's unfortunate. But I think one of the saddest things I've seen is I seen a grown man have a nervous breakdown in front of me. Wow. As he looked at his business empty. And that touched me. I think I even put it on social media somewhere. while I was in the truck. And it was very, very hurtful to see a grown man having a nervous breakdown because he didn't know how he was going to feed his family or pay his mortgage. That was very, very touching. And I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a tough guy. I don't care if you're a cool guy, whatever. That's touching to see when you have a person who is used to being a provider, a leader of his family, and then a situation like that comes, and then he sees this truck pull up, and I'm there to pretty much just grab his stuff and get him out of there. And it's very sad to see. And so I couldn't help, part of the reason why we have this episode today, I couldn't help but to think after that day, I wonder where his mind and his spirit went after that. Of course, we have this, of course, we have sad days, we have those knockdown moments, but, of course, we stand up again.
Absolutely.
I've been knocked down a few times, but I ain't never laid there. So hopefully that was his spirit, but because I don't know him personally, I do wonder, as a human, I wonder where his mental health went after that.
Right.
Like, where is he now? Is he okay? People fall into like I said, that black hole. And maybe he did drink more than he usually did. Maybe he did become abusive to his wife. Or to his kids. People let off anger in different ways. So that's why we're talking today about where's your mental health at, and we want to hear from you. How are you doing? How did you hold up?
Right.
What did you do to hold up? So this is a wellness check episode. We want to know what's going on with you and how are you doing, because some people really are still just in the house. Some people just broke the mold and said, I'm just going to go out. I got to go out. But then there's some people that follow that rule and, to a degree that they actually still stay home and they're not around people. You have people who live far away from their family, chasing their careers, and they're stuck in places where they have to be to themselves.
Right.
So I just want to know from you guys, how are you doing? This is a wellness check from myself, Shannyn Casino, and Tasha B.
Yes.
We definitely want to know how you guys are doing. So please subscribe, but also definitely comment in the comment section. Let us know how you're doing. I want to know how you guys are doing.
Right. Well, first, I just want to make the point that if you are experiencing some sort of form of depression or anxiety, or your stress is just heightened, feelings that you may not have dealt with before, like, it is okay considering today's climate and in society and what we're dealing with right now. Like, you are not alone. You're not the only person. So don't feel that way.
No.
There are a number of psychologists that are offering services during this time. Some offering free services.
Yes.
There are definitely mindfulness apps and things like that. Like, I was back in March, I was taking a sociology class, and there was a project I was doing while I was researching meditation.
I was getting ready to say meditation.
And I, found one online that was called Headspace. There's another one called My Life and things like that. There's certain apps, look into the apps. Certain apps, there's subscription you gotta pay for. Some of them are free. Just do your research, and they have just for different ways to deal with
what you're going through.
How to meditate. One of my friends was like, you need to meditate, and pray and meditate, just find your ground, to get out of those thoughts, and also just remember the things that do make you happy. Maybe it's not something that you can actually go out and physically do, but something you can do in your home. Or I'm the type of person, I like to drive. Like, my friends and I used to take road trips. So I had to think, I can't go anywhere, inside anywhere, but let me get in my car and just go for a drive.
Just ride.
Get some fresh air, roll down the windows, get out of this confined space that I'm working in, sleeping in, eating it,
And it does. It does. Like, it does. I remember watching episode, I think it was on Netflix, the Khalif Browder story.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and you know, just to watch that story and what that young man has went through. And he, you know, he went to prison, and most of the time he was in solitary confinement. And from what I understand about solitary confinement is that it takes 40 days for a person's mind to actually ding or snap. 40 days of being alone will make your mind snap. Some people know that, some people don't know that, but that is an actual fact. It takes 40 days of being alone to make you just that fast.
Wow.
And so that's what the pandemic was. And it's like, it's crazy because I've seen some memes online where people were making fun of this thing. It's like, oh, the pandemic, oh, you have to be confined, quarantined, and being by yourself and all of that. The prisoners, people who've been to prison, this is nothing for them. I don't agree with that. I don't care who you are as a human, whether you are a criminal, whether you had to pay a debt to society, to be confined by yourself in a room. I think, and depending on how long too, I think at some point it is a level of cruelty.
It is. You know what? And
it's a level
I've never
of
thought about it before, but it is. And it's not natural. It's not healthy.
It's not healthy.
And
to take a person's mind away from them.
Right.
In that way.
Right. How is that a form of correction?
Yes,
you know?
I totally agree. Yes.
It's not. It's just not.
It's not. Yeah. So the episode today is Wellness Check. We are checking on you. Like I said, I care about my viewers. I hope, I know you care about your viewers too. We care about who's watching. It's not just about being in front of this camera and doing what we do, because we love to have fun with it. But one of the reasons why this episode is live right now for you guys is because I have gotten a few inboxes on this topic, people speaking about where they was and how they was and people that they know. So once again, guys, comment, let us know where you are, because we want to hear from you, because we want to interact and we want to meet new people doing this, and great people, and I'm sure it's a lot of great people out there. But this is a wellness check. We want to know how you are doing and how you are holding up with you and your family. Yes. So please reach out to us here on the OD.
Yes. And also I just wanted to go back to some points about if you're experiencing that, reach out for help.
Please.
Talk to your friends, talk to your family, but also seek professional help if you feel like it's a level where you can't fight this on your own, or you can't just speak with your friends. There's help out there. We're gonna put some information right here.
right. It's gonna be somewhere.
It's gonna be somewhere right here. You know, reach out and get some help. We don't want it to be a situation that turns into a a situation that just didn't have to go that far. We definitely love you. We care about our viewers. And, we're in a phase where it's definitely critical to remain safe in the environment, but restrictions are lifting. So, get around your people. You can get to small get-togethers with your family and friends, stuff that makes you happy, whether it's in your house or at their house, or small gathering somewhere, just try to get back. Unfortunately, this has gone... we're 8 months into the pandemic?
8 months, yeah.
It's a long time, and we have to get into living, with it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
seems like that's how we're gonna have to do it.
So, get into a better place about it in your mind, in your spirit. You have to. You have to.
I have one last thing that I want to say. One last thing that I want to say to the strong-minded people. I want to advise you and encourage you, because you are strong-minded, that when you get that phone call from a person that you haven't heard from in a long time or in a while, it's been many moons, but out the blue you get that call, answer that phone call. Don't let that just ride by and say whatever. You are a leader. You are strong. You're strong in your spirit. You're strong in your mind. And you are coping with this. You have coped with the pandemic, and you're still moving. You're still doing your thing. But there are people who haven't. There are people who are breaking every day, that has broke, and they might be reaching out for that help. And sometimes it's not about just you being you. Sometimes it's about just listening. And because you are a leader, really listen to what they're saying. Really listen to what they're saying. And sometimes you have to be transparent in the conversation and let them know what you are going through yourself personally. And once you let them know what you're going through, and if it's a downtime that you've had and how you dealt with it, that usually tend to help those who are weaker come out of their shell and actually tell you what's really going on with them. And you might be that person that will save a life. And that's what it's about. This is a wellness check, you guys.
Yes.
It's a very serious thing. Check on your people. They need you. They really need you. You'll be surprised how many people have smiles on their faces. And broken.
Yeah, absolutely.
And broken.
They're broken.
Yes, broken.
Yeah.
So please, answer that phone call. Don't just let, we're not living in a time where we can just be like, whatever. It's not about that anymore. Answer that phone call, especially if you haven't heard from that person in a while.
Right.
If you have any discrepancies with anybody or any problems with anybody, any drama with anybody, if 2020 hasn't showed you anything, it should have showed you it's time to let a lot of things go.
Right.
It's time to let a lot of things go. We've lost a lot of people in 2020.
Tell me about it.
And due to suicide, drinking, drugs, the rates of everything negative for the human has went up. It's skyrocketing.
The pandemic itself.
Just absolutely.
Lost over 200,000 people in the U.S. alone. That's not the global number. That's the U.S. alone.
The U.S. Yeah.
Listen, my grandmother was one.
Wow.
Listen, it's home. It hits home for us.
It hits home. It
Just
hits
like
home.
it hits home for you.
Yes. So. Yes. So we're gonna wrap up. This has been another episode of the OD. The next episode will be a little bit more live, but I think since we have this platform, I think it was our duty to check on our people.
Right.
Say a few words to you guys. Everything will be okay.
Right.
Everything's gonna work out.
Right.
All right. Check on your people.
Check on your people. Send us a DM. Send us a message if you have no one else to talk to and you've seen this video.
Yes.
And you feel like you need to talk to somebody.
Hit us up. We're here. I'm here.
Listen.
You can find me at Shannyn Casino.
And Tasha B.
And Tasha B.
Love Tasha B.
Love Tasha B. And you can love Tasha B.
Yes.
Find her, love Tasha
and I'm going to love you back.
Absolutely.
With love.
All right. This has been another episode of the OD. Thank you for clicking the link once again. This is brought to you by the Social Maximus. Hey. All right. We'll check back in with you guys. Be well until the next time. Click the link. All right. SIOUX.
Hey guys, it's Tasha B from the OD. I want to thank you all for tuning in to today's open discussion. Make sure you subscribe to get new alerts and keep up to date with our new episodes every week. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you.